Where is that file? Gosh, where'd I put it? Man, I can't find anything. What is happening, everybody? It's Tony with 319 Photography, 319photography.com. Hope everybody is doing awesome. So, today I want to talk to you guys about storage. And I'm not talking about storing your camera, I'm talking about file storage. That's such an important thing for photographers in the digital age. And it's one of those things that gets overlooked a lot. But hey, before I get into it, I want you to notice you may be seeing a little guy running around in the background. If he pops his head up, I'm going to have to stop and pet him a little bit. That's my boy, Orion. He's a 2-year-old German Shepherd, and he's my buddy. I think he's the official mascot of 319 Photography. So I'm sure he'll come up here and nose his way up here for some pets. He had a serious case of the I don't want to be away from dad today. So, that being said, let's get into this. So, I break down my storage into three different elements. I have travel, I have my home or my main storage, and then I have my redundant storage. And then I have file structuring, and I'll talk to you about that in a second. But I want to give you guys some tips, or at least what I do to manage my storage in those three different areas. So, first up is travel. And for my travel, I carry these SanDisk Extreme Pro external drives. They're fantastic drives. They're rugged. They're weather resistant to a degree. Although I really haven't tested that, I don't take my drives out into extreme weather. But what I do is I carry these. I've got a couple of them, and they're super handy. They're small, they're compact. The ones that I have are 2 terabyte drives, and I'll put some information up here on the screen. This is just a screen grab from B&H Photo Video. I have no affiliation with B&H Photo Video. I don't really care where you buy this stuff at, but just some good information here for you. You can see that they are a little expensive. They'll cost you about $229, give or take. You may be able to get that cheaper on a sale, depending on how good you are at scouring the internet for better deals. But I highly suggest you invest in those. They have different capacities. They have a 500 gigabyte, a 1 terabyte, and a 2 terabyte. Like I said, I have a couple of the 2 terabyte ones, and they're fantastic. So that's travel, and that's when I'm on the road. I don't carry my bigger drives with me when I do that. So when I get home and it's time to transfer all those image files to my main storage, what I use for my main storage is by Western Digital, and it's the MyBook Duo, and I'll put a shot up here of this as well. So this is a 12 terabyte drive, and this is my main storage for all of my image files. So when I get home from wherever I've been out traveling, I'll transfer my image files from the SanDisk to the My Duo, and that's where they live. So that's my main storage, guys. These My Duos, they're great. Western Digital is a reputable brand. It does carry a bit of a price tag as well, but if you're going to spend money on anything, second to camera, glass, maybe bodies, the next thing should be your storage. Because if you don't have quality storage and your drive fails and it's all gone, then it doesn't matter what your camera gear was that you used to capture the image with. So redundant backup comes in the form of, for me at least, uh, another offering from Western Digital, the My Book, which is just a smaller version of the My Book Duo or the My Duo. I have a couple of these, and I'll put some information up here as well. Mine are the 8 terabyte ones. I have a couple of those, and these I transfer from my main storage. I copy. I don't transfer. I copy from my main storage. And once I update these redundant drives, I unplug them from power supplies, from computers, and they are stored off site. So having your redundant storage off site is a big deal, especially where my residence is. I live in the state of Oklahoma, although I travel a lot. I'm rarely actually home, but I'm subject to natural disasters every spring, right? If a tornado spins up, not to account for, any wildfires. I live out. I don't live in the city. I live out in the country. So that's an option, and just normal house fires, right? So I don't want to have all of my storage in one place. So my redundant storage on my book, on my couple of my books, are kept off site. I update them about once a month or when I have new images to update with. That way I know I'm never going to be without an image. Now, my file structure, it's a whole different ballgame, right? This just happens to be my file structure, and I'll put it up here on the screen. This is what makes sense to me. It's how I keep my files organized, and I organize everything by year. So you can see here's a screen grab from my file structure. You can see everything's laid out by year, and then from year, I go to location. That makes sense to me. Some people do it different, but that's how I do it. So within every location folder, I have the raw files that correspond to that location in that year. I also have my working files. So if I need to store my PSB files or any images that I'm still working on, I'm not quite happy with, they go in there. Once I'm done with an image and it's ready to rock and roll, I will save the versions of that in the finals folder. I'll save my social versions. I'll save my print versions. I'll save different sizes within that finals folder. Guys, this is just what works for me. Doesn't mean it's the way. It just means it's a way. But what's important, and I try to tell new photographers this all the time, while it's important to learn the craft of photography and the ins and outs of your camera, having a dedicated storage and organized structure method is super important, because I'll be honest with you, for the first 5 or so years of being a digital photographer, I was terrible. I was absolutely terrible at my file storage. I couldn't find anything. Images were strewn about amongst different drives, my computer's hard drive, flash drives, you name it. It was nuts. I wasn't very good at it. When I started shooting professionally and people were paying me to do work, I realized I should probably be a bit more organized with all this. So I established a file structure and storage structure, and everything's, I've refined it since then, and I'm sure my current process will be refined here in a couple of years or so, but it works for me, and I'm happy with it. So, guys, I hope that helps, and I really hope that you put some time and thought into your storage and the organization of your files. It'll serve you better in the long run. Please do me a favor, check out our website at 319photography.com, where you can see all kinds of information, plus information on the workshops that we teach. And we have a blast going out in the field teaching in-field, hands-on techniques, as well as dedicated classroom topics. It's a lot of fun. We have a blast. We always have a good group of people, and it's always a fun adventure out into gorgeous, gorgeous landscapes. And hey, come here, buddy. Say hello. There's Orion. I told you he'd pop his head up here. Yes, you good boy. Hey, look, people can see you. He says hi. Guys, if you like this video, do me a favor, click that subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and as always, have an awesome day.